You have to understand this, brothers. When we talk about internet, when we talk about the metaverse, everybody's talking about this whole metaverse. You have to understand that this world we're living in, this experience we're having right now, you watching this video, you looking out your car window, you looking around the people at work, you looking around the house. This is the first metaverse. This is the first illusion. This is the first virtual reality. Once you understand that, brothers, everything in your life will change.
Who are we? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are powerful beyond measure. We are creators of our own realities. We are immortal mind. Immortal mind.
Is it not written in your law that ye are God? You understand what I'm saying? So this depends on.
At ease, brothers. I am soul. Brother, if there was one thing that I know now that I wish I would have known several years ago, man, I would easily say that I wish I would have known that abundance is an inside job. I wish I would have known that abundance was an inside job or is an inside job, right? Now, I'm always talking about the old schooler that pulled me to the side at my aunt's funeral, man. And I was just talking about this same thing in the power circle, except I went a little bit deeper telling those brothers the story, right? And what I was saying was, like the old schooler pulled me to the side and he was congratulating me on how I was moving, man. This brother had seen me grow up from a young child up to a man, and he saw me, quote unquote winning. He saw me, driving a nice vehicle. He saw me with a beautiful woman on my side. He saw me with the shiny belt, the shiny shoes. He saw me with the aviators on, man. And he could see my movement, see the things I was doing. And he brought me to the side and said, bro, like you're winning in life. Like you're doing good. Like I'm proud of you, brother. But then he began to ask me a series of questions, man, that I thought at the time seemed very, very odd, right? But what the man was doing was he was trying to see if I knew myself or if I was letting these things define me. In other words, he was trying to see if I knew what my purpose was, if I had a true connection with the Creator, if I was standing solid on my foundation, or was soul clearly defined by the fit chick on his shoulder? Was soul being defined by the bends in the driveway? Was he being defined by the shiny shoes and the aviators, right? And I'm gonna tell you, man, the brother touched a nerve, and like I said a million times, because I've told the story, the brother almost upset me, man, because I was like, why is old schooler coming at me sideways, man? But in a very short amount of time, things started to make sense. And I'm gonna tell you this, brothers. If your abundance isn't an inside job, if your abundance isn't internal, I'm telling you, man, it's just a matter of time before your world starts to crumble down. Because what you're doing is you're putting your power, your essence, you're putting all of your thought into the material thing instead of letting the material thing be a byproduct. And we can go back to the Hermetic text, the Kabbalah, when it talks about the only thing that's real is that state of God, and every single thing else is an illusion. If it can be built, if it can be made, if it can be born, and if it can die a physical death, it's part of the illusion. It's not real. So I'm telling you, brothers, once you put your energy and you're calling that thing, these material things, abundance, instead of letting the abundance just fall and be a byproduct of who you are, brother, I'm telling you, man, bro, that's a long road to defeat. That's a long road down, man. I wish I would have known that abundance is an inside job, man. So really it comes down to, like when the Bible says, and I don't want to get all biblical, but when the Bible says to seek ye first the kingdom, brother, I'm gonna tell you where a lot of people miss the bus on that. A lot of people think that, when it's referring to the kingdom, a lot of people think that, once I transition, once I leave this world, once I have a physical death, then I will be back in the midst of God. I will be in the kingdom, and I will have this ultimate peace and bliss. But what you have to understand, man, you have to understand that kingdom can be obtained now. Not only can be, has to be obtained first. That has to be man's first journey, is finding that kingdom. Because if not, brother, you'll fall victim to this world, man. Find that state. Like when I say meditation, sleep, and death are all the same world. They're all the same world. It's just how deep you're submerged in it. The thing is, brother, you have to call that world your reality. I'm telling you, but it has to be. You have to understand this, brothers. When we talk about internet, when we talk about the metaverse, everybody's talking about this whole metaverse. You have to understand that this world we're living in, this experience we're having right now, you watching this video, you looking out your car window, you looking around the people at work, you looking around the house. This is the first metaverse. This is the first illusion. This is the first virtual reality. Once you understand that, brothers, everything in your life will change. We have to start calling the other side. We have to start knowing that the other side is the true reality and that this is the illusion. Because if you don't understand that, you'll start living from this place. You'll start living from your place and start putting your power in this place, brothers. And I'm telling you, man, that is a long road down. So it's just a matter of identifying what your reality is. So you have to have that abundance inside, man. I'm gonna tell you when the old schoolers' words started really making sense. And it wasn't overnight. It was over the course of years, man. Like the job that I had last, I interacted with a lot of entrepreneurs, man. I interacted with a lot of brothers that started. I was in the automotive industry, right? I interacted with a lot of brothers that started repair shops from scratch and built them up to be, I talked to a lot of men and women that built like auto repair shops or auto repair stores and built them from scratch to empires. And I'm gonna tell you, man, over the course of 4 or 5 years of me working there, I started really noticing a common denominator between all those people, man. And I'm talking about the people that really lived an abundant life, right? I could go to some places, man, and you could pull up and you could see the owners would have Ferraris out there and a few $100,000 cars. And I could go in there and talk to them. And brothers, if I didn't know that they actually own the place, I wouldn't, visually, their demeanor, it wasn't being defined by the jewelry or what was in the parking lot or the home. It was like these people it was like they had some kind of centered simplicity about themselves. And that's what I noticed, a handful of years ago, right? On the same token, I could go to another repair shop or whatever and talk to a brother that really had none of these things in the parking lot. Like you would almost think he could have been the janitor there by the way he was dressed, by the way he carried himself, by the simplicity of his office. And that same simplicity, that same knowing of self, that same centered energy was there. That's how I really started to understand, what the old school was telling me about. Like don't let these things define you. Like have these things, man. Obtain these things, man, and enjoy life. But don't let them define you, nor do you want to live from this place. What the old school was telling me, man, the abundance is internal. And I'm gonna tell you this, brother, an abundant man, or the more you start living abundant, you can start seeing those that are in love with the illusion. You can see those that are letting these things represent them. And I'm not saying these things are bad. Y'all know I'm not saying that. Get the biggest of everything. Get the fastest of everything. But don't let it define you, nor do you want to put your peace and your essence in it. I'm telling you, brother, you have to look at this world as the metaverse. If you don't understand, and I use the analogy of my son playing video games all the time because I can't think of any better explanation. Like when my son is playing that game, it's like yeah, he's submerged in that game, and he's buying the cars, he's doing the whole GTA and live the bag and just doing all these nice things. But when he gets off of it, man, he's back in himself. He's back in this quote unquote real world in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? He's not letting those things define him. He's still centered in himself, man. And I'm telling you, brother, once you start living like that, that's when you will start having true abundance. Because you can see abundance on a man. You can feel abundance on a man. When an abundant man walks in a room, regardless of what he has on, you can feel his presence, man. You can feel abundance, brothers. And I'm telling you, once you start walking in that abundant energy internally, brother, the world will do what it has to do. Matter of fact, the world will have no choice but to do a certain thing. The world will have no choice but to give you a bigger home, a badder chick, a faster car, a shinier belt, a watch that doesn't tick. It will have no choice, man. But brothers, I'm telling you, I wish I would have known this at 20 years old. I wish I would have known to find that peace inside instead of trying to strong arm it and let these things define me, man. Abundance is an internal job, brothers. Abundance is an internal job. And like I said, man, a lot of people think they won't experience the kingdom of heaven until they die. But the word says to seek ye first the kingdom. So brothers, whenever you find yourself, being aware of life, and I don't know if that's the time when a man moves out of his parents' house. I don't know if that's when a man finishes school. Whenever a man gets to that point where he says, you know what, okay, now this is my world. Like I'm away from the nest. Now it's my world. Before you get out and start grinding, and before you start searching for, a wife, before you start searching for, I want to get a certain kind of job, I want to have the better, all these bells and whistles. Before you do that, brothers, you have to go inside and find self. And really finding abundance is not it's not about finding a place of money coming in. Money is not abundance, brothers. Well, money is not abundance, man. Abundance is a state that covers everything. True abundance is a state that covers everything, because I can remember the longest time when I was just like, you know what, I just want to get the bag. If I can get, X amount of dollars, if I can get this much money, then I'm an abundant man. Abundance either covers everything or nothing at all. It's going to cover everything in your life or nothing at all. So when I got to the point where I said, you know what, okay, yeah, I want to get more money. But when I got to the point and I said, you know what, I want to get more health. Like, man, I want to be healthy. I want to live to be 100 years old in this experience, man. I want to lose some of this weight. And when I got to the point where I said, you know what, I want to start having healthy relationships. When I got to the point where I said, you know what, man, I want to be able to sit down and fellowship with my brothers, because that was something I didn't do for years. I wanted healthy relationships. But I said, you know what, man, I want to find a woman in my life and we can have a healthy relationship. Like, I can get out of this. I can get out all of this toxic, women ain't that, that whole mindset. I said, I can't be thinking like that and thinking abundant at the same time. You can't do it, man. So abundance has to cover everything, or it's covering nothing at all, man. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Abundance is an inside job.